Hello, it is me, Anime Wait or Wait Anime, and I'm here to bring you part 2 of What If Deku Had an Elemental Quirk. Now, there might be moving in this episode because it might rain. I do not know at the current moment. Okay? So there might be movement. Well, me moving around, no, you get my point. Background noise might be apparent. I don't know. Um, let me do that. There we go. Okay. Today we're going over the heroes versus villains and the USJ. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna get a drink of water and then we'll get straight into it. Also, question. Um, what do y'all think of my bi-weekly series? What if Deku was Law's reincarnation? What do you all think of that so far? I hope you're enjoying it. If you have seen it. If you haven't, I recommend you go watch it. It's my bi-weekly series where I post every other Saturday. Actually, no, I called it my every other Saturday series. So I recommend you check that out. Anyways, let's get into it. So we're just gonna go straight into it. We're not gonna do anything behind it. Asta, no, oh my, I, I was watching Black Clover. Okay, I was rewatching some moments, and Deku or Izuku, Midoriya, um, Midoriya, and let's go with um. Let's go him and Ida versus um versus Kirishima and Bakugo. Yeah, yeah. So Ida and Midoriya are on the hero side, while the Kirishima Kiribaku Wink is on the other side, the villain side. Um, it's going to be like the same scenario as in canon, where the villains have a boom boom that they're gonna uh, explode. Okay, and the heroes had to deal with the boom boom, shut it down. Okay. Izuku does not have his sword in this training. He was not allowed to bring it, but he will be allowed to bring it during the USJ. But he doesn't know that. They don't even know the USJ, anything about the USJ at the very moment. Okay, but I'm not gonna say that now. Okay. Oh yeah. Izuku's hero suit. Yeah, 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 yeah. He the same suit, the same Nodachi as last time. The black sheath, the white eye designs, going from a shut eye to a opened eye throughout per set in a way. Okay, like it goes closed eye, a little bit opened eye, and then a little bit more after that, and then halfway, and then a little above halfway, and then a little bit more above halfway, and then opened. Okay, like that. Okay, with the eight-handled wheel, Suba. Okay, hero suit though, or hero. Where's my hero? Okay, I totally should call it hero costume. I'm just calling it hero suit. Okay, because mostly because of the fact of because where's my super suit? You know, Frozone. Yeah, that's the really only reason I'm calling it this. Okay, okay. The hero suit though is a black kimono with long sleeves that basic very akin to Muchiro Tokiko. I don't know, but Muchiro from Demon Slayer, how his sleeves are very big and go like over his hands like that. Okay. On the back of the black kimono is a eye-like design, a open eye. Okay. Then white baggy pants, white pants. Okay. That stop a little bit above the ankle, and he has black sandals. Okay. Okay. Also, headband. No, no, he doesn't. I was about to say a choker, but no. He has his hair. Did I say he had long hair? I completely forget. Um, maybe, maybe I did. No, I didn't. I know he has black hair. I remember that much. I don't remember. Okay, I don't. But anyways, yeah. Okay, and then he does the same armor as he wears in canon. Everyone else is as in canon. Okay, and they would be told to begin. The heroes would go in. Ida would, well, their plan is, or they're hoping on Bakugo to go straight after Midoriya, so that Ida can run up there and potentially take out Ida. I mean, not Ida. To potentially take out Kirishima or stall him long enough to where he gets tired and Ida can just bonk and go take out the Boom Boom in case uh, Midoriya isn't capable or isn't uh, not capable, but he is capable, but is not, I don't know the word, but isn't able to take out Bakugo. There you go. Okay. So they would run into the building. Ida would hide. Midoriya would stay on the ground floor, and they could hear the explosions coming down already. And here he comes, yelling, "You couldn't have met me halfway, hero!" And Midoriya would say, "No, I was banking on this, honestly. You're in my field now." Flare! I know. They don't have the names yet. I completely forgot. Okay, I forgot. Okay, okay. But as Bakugo would start to come closer, Izuku would bring up a hand and he would say, "Flare Flash." Not he wouldn't say that, okay, but I'm naming the move so that you know what in the future. A blast, like a ball of fire, would shoot out of Midori's hand. Not a ball of fire, but like a you know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying. Basically like Zuko, just firing fire out of his hand. Okay, not a ball, but you get my point. Okay, that wouldn't stop Bakugo. He would just explode it out of the way. and then that was out of his right hand, and then he would switch over to his left hand, and he would say, well, he wouldn't say anything, but his hand would be covered in fire once again, and he would run. He would swing with his right hand at first. Bakugo would dodge, but he would bring, Midoriya would bring his left hand, and whack, just just punch Bakugo in the face, sending him flying into a wall. Then he would be, uh, then Midoriya would switch to his wind. He would cover his right hand in wind as he would punch at Bakugo. A big wave of wind or a big blast of wind would hit Bakugo, send him, well, it would push him even in further into the wall. He would crater into the wall, and a bigger crater would hit the wall. Okay. Then Midoriya's hand would, well, not yet. No, 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 not yet, not yet. But what Izuku would do next would be, well, Bakugo. Never mind, never mind. Scratch that. Bakugo would get up after the gale uh, force hit him. Right. He would get up and just start rapidly shooting explosions at Midoriya to hopefully take him out, which it wouldn't. He knew it wouldn't. He would just use wind to suck it up, like like a vortex to suck up all the smoke, which Bakugo knew he would do. So Bakugo would go through the smoke, and then he would end up getting way closer than he would expect to Midoriya, and boom! A big explosion would hit Midoriya, send him flying. But he then would, his hand would go into this metallic color. As he would raise his right hand up, it would be in the same, well, the metallic color, as he would fire a ball of metal, just a ball of metal at Bakugo, which Bakugo would dodge, staring at it as he would say, "What was that?" As it would fire at him again and again and again. He would just start exploding them. They would break, they would shatter, right? And then, trying to think. Okay, yeah. He Midoriya would flatten his hand out like you're trying to smash, like you're slapping something, right? But yet he would bring it up to the side of his head and swing in a diagonal way, right? Uh, with lightning, or Licton is what I call it in this. Licton lightning. It's the a I use, like, the Licton something scar where you get struck by lightning. There's like a, I hope you know what I mean. But the lightning scar, okay, like the Licton, where you have like little lightning bolts or something. I don't know. Look it up. Like a lightning slash would be sent at Bakugo, which it would hit Bakugo, making him like just shake rapidly, right? And then after that, Midoriya, his hand would go into the silver collar again as he would hit Bakugo in the face. It would, you could hear his jaw crack, send him flying as Midoriya would be on his tail. He would follow him in the way, well, he would follow him, and he would jump up, reel back his arm again, but then Bakugo, he would say, well, he would hold up his gauntlet, like his gauntlet, like the with the pull thing, the thing. You could hear All Might over the model say, "Young Bakugo, do not do that. It's dangerous." You know the same thing he says in canon. Um, but Bakugo would say, "Oh, I know this guy. He'll be fine." As he would pull the pin, Midoriya would block his arms. He would cover both arms into this metallic collar, which is the silver. It's steel, okay. But he would block it. Well, he would cover up like his. He'd curl up into a ball. His legs would like knee down would go into this metallic collar, right? And his arms would do the same, or elbow up to his like arm to hand to elbow, knee to foot would be covered in this. As this would explode Midoriya would be there into this, knowing that he'll be fine. Like he's dealt with this type of stuff his entire life, but yet he did not expect to be sent flying as much as he did. He would be sent through the entire wall. Like he would be blasted back. He would be sent through the wall, two walls. He would get up though after a little bit. After Bakugo would quit laughing or quit yelling, he would. Well, Midori would say, "Would you shut up?" Okay. Yep. He would crack his back. He would roll his shoulders. They would crack. He would roll his arms. They would crack. He would crack his neck. Knees would crack. He would just stand up, enter through the hole that his body went through. As he would say, "Well, that wasn't nice." "Yeah, no duh. It wasn't supposed to be nice, nerd." Okay, we both said we wouldn't call each other nicknames or make fun of each other because of our side gigs. Pomeranian. What did you just say? I called you a Pomeranian. Then Midoriya would use his cold, like his ice powers, as he would stomp the ground with his right leg. Boom! A big wave of ice would cover the entire like bottom floor. Bakugo would his feet would be frozen. Midori would say, "See, Bakugo, you need to chill." Then he would stomp with the same leg with fire. A big, like, purge or a big wave of fire would come out of his foot, enveloping Bakugo. But Bakugo, at last second, would explode it, shaking the entire building that they are in. Ida and Kirishima would be very confused on what's happening down there. Ida would think, did Midoriya get taken out? But no. Izuku would flatten his hand again using his earth. His his left leg would sink into the ground as his arm would grow like rocks and that type of stuff, like I explained last episode. As he would slice, um, actually twice, one diagonally, one straight, like hor. Well, one's horizontal and then one's vertical. And Bakugo would explode, make a massive explosions. Uh, and with these two moves, they would take each other out. Like they wouldn't, like they would be both knocked to the ground. Actually, they would both begin to stand up, but Midori would be quicker to act, using his lightning-based like power. Well, it's lightning. He would surge it through the floor with his hand to the floor, shocking Bakugo, making him fall. As Midoriya would then make his entire right arm metal or silver, whatever. You get my point. As he would run, Bakugo would be on his knees. If you watch wrestling or know of Will Ospreay, you would know the hidden blade finisher he does, where he runs at his opponent and he brings his arm back to his chest, and he'll bring his elbow in the back of the guy's head, just or forearm, just boom. That's what Midoriya is gonna do. After he would bring his arm back, he would bend down a little bit, and then boom, his forearm would hit Bakugo's side of the head, right? Just boom. Bakugo would fall down. Uh, uh I can't Midoriya didn't want to hurt the guy enough, but what he would do, he would soften he would turn a little bit of his arm. He would turn his arm back split second, just boom. It would still knock him out, like or stun Bakugo enough for Midoriya to tie him up. Actually, it would just stun him, ugh, right? Then he would head up, see Bakugo and not Bakugo, um, Ida and Kirishima fight, right? Uh, Ida, well, Midori would say, Ida, come on, man, hurry up. I got finished with my fight. You got to finish with yours. And he's saying this while most of his clothes is gone. Okay, his sandals. Sandal he doesn't know what happened to. To be blatantly honest, he has no clue. Uh, doesn't know if it burnt up or whatever. He has no clue what the hell happened to his right sandal. No clue. No clue. It could be gone. It could be. He has no clue what happened at all. He has no clue at all. No clue. Right? No clue at all. Okay. Okay. No clue. Anyways, so they would win. Okay, I'm just gonna speed it up. They would win quite easily. And now it's time for the USJ. See, since Midoriya's costume is such a simple design and isn't very hard to get back together, that's what they would do. It would be very easy to refix, right? So they would get it fixed. He would be in the same costume, the eye design on the back, the white baggy pants, the black kimono with the big sleeves, long sleeves, right? And he would be carrying his sword today. It would be just he would be holding it like Law does in One Piece, right? That's how he would be holding it. Okay, okay, okay. You get it. As they would sit on the bus, they would begin to talk, blah blah blah. Okay, the same question about, oh, who do you think's the Quirk's strongest? Midoriya's name would be brought up, Bakugo's name, Todoroki's name, um, Tokoyami's. Okay, I love sentient quirks. Um, I am so tempted the next three what ifs to turn one of them into a Deku what if, so I can do two Deku what ifs. But I am already doing two Deku what ifs. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But the next, I will probably make the next every other Saturday series a host quirk or a um. You get my point? Like a sentient quirk. Like Dark Shadow. Okay, Dark Shadow. Okay, Okay, we get my point. I know it's not going to be popular. I should probably do like the, oh, where he was. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We will honestly see. Okay, we will see. I hope that's like an interesting quirk idea, like a what if, because it's one of the ones that I really want to see, like do actually. Okay, or see someone do and see how good it is. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so continuing on, they would arrive at the USJ. Um, 13 would be there already, and she would do her speech. They would go in. Um, Kirishima would say, "Whoa, you all even got fake villains? Whoa, that's awesome!" Aizawa would look over and say, "We did not get fake villains. These are real. Everyone, get out of here now." And then Kurogiri would appear behind them, the, and he would say, "Well, I would like to formally introduce myself. My name is Kurogiri. My master down there is called Shigaraki, and we are the League of Villains. Now, heroes, what will you do?" Bakugo would be on immediate attack, just exploding him, moving him out of the way, just entirely. And then Kurogiri would just like, be knocked down to the ground. Uh, they would then Bakugo would say, "Well, I would like to really fight you guys, but no thanks." Like very out of character for him, but hey, he's gonna take it. And Kirigiri would say, "How about no?" Max Portal would open. Uh, they would all get teleported. Well, not all of them. Some people would stay there. Aizawa would jump down by this point, taking on the army of villains. Okay, Ida would escape, like he does in canon, right? Izuku would be, well, actually teleported to the same area as in canon, the ship area. He's on a boat, okay, with Mineta and Tsuyu, uh, with his gale. Like he would put wind on his feet and he would blast up out of the water. So Tsuyu doesn't need to help him. He would land on the boat, look into the water, see many glowing eyes, anime logic, uh, and he would say, "Well, aren't we a fish out of water?" And Mineta would say, "But we're in water." It's a form of expression, like fish in a barrel. It's like shooting fish out of in a barrel. I don't know what you mean. Honestly, I've been just staring at this. Um, Never mind. Yeah, I recommend you shut up. Um, yeah, question. How much electricity do you think it will take to stun all these people? Um, what do you mean, Ribbit? I feel like it's pretty plain and simple what I mean. I mean, like, I don't know, like shocking people. Like, I've been tased before. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. It hurts. They all probably have some type of water quirk, so they can probably breathe underwater. They'll be fine. He would unsheath his sword and then stick it in the water, and then he would surge lightning or lightning electricity through the blade as it would shock the water, and then villains like with some type of water quirk, either like a fish or water breathing or something. Okay, would just start plop, plop, just start floating up. And then Midori would say, well, that was easy. Eh, I really hope they're not dead. Not my problem. Uh, can you two get over? I probably should help you. Yeah, I would appreciate some help, man. You see my body, you see how I look, and you see my quirk. I need help. Who hurt you? And why didn't it stick? You got time? No, I don't. Gale! And then he would grab both of them, and then boom, he would fly out to the air to the other side, as he would say, what the hell's that thing? There, oh, he just throw him into, oh, okay. Yeah, probably, someone should probably help. Oh, Mr. Aizawa. Uh, one of you, one of you two, hold this. He would hand Suyu the sheath as he'd begin to run into the main plaza. Okay, where he can see Mr. Aizawa get dogged on by a monster. Okay, so he would go running in. He would coat his blade in uh actually, no. He would use silver to extend it, right? As he would slash. Well, he would actually cut off the Nomu's hand, holding on to Aizawa, right? He would cut it off as he would then extend his blade to, like, stab into Aizawa's clothing to pull him towards him, right? As the Nomu would scream in pain as his hand would grow back. And Midori would say, well, that's totally not creepy, as his blade would go back to the same length. Okay. Midori then would say, you know anything about this thing? And Aizawa would say, no, but you should run. And Midori would say, we both know that's not going to happen. Let's go, big bird and ugly. As he would coat his blade in water. No. Fire. Yeah, let's go fire. As he would slash the air, it would just send off a fire blade. And then he would coat it with air, and right after another, he would send another blade. The two blades would, well, the two slashes, sorry, hiccups, or burp, something, I don't know. But they would intertwine, causing a massive flame to combine. Okay? It would connect with the Nomu. It would just sear. Like, the Nomu would still scream in pain, but it's really not affected. Okay? And Midori would say, well, that's bull. Come after me, birdie. Catch me if you can. As he would start to kick up into the air like Geppo. The Nomu would jump up in the air very quickly as Midori would bring his sword in front of him to, well, blunt. The Nomu would hit Midoriya's blade. Uh, it would cut him, but Midori would be sent to the ground. He would bounce off the ground. He would soften the blow with, or the landing with Gale just pushing him back up so that he would land. He would dodge out of the way from, well, the Nomu's second slam, right? Manure, uh, Midoriya would, well, now coat his blade with lightning. He would slash 3 times, just ching, ching, ching. They would all hit the Nomu, stunning him for a little bit as he would coat his blade in wind, as he would thrust it into the Nomu's like upper chest. It would send him up in the air, the Nomu up into the air as he would start to slash with wind again, just multiple times, 5 times. But then he could feel something on his back. It's Shigaraki decaying his back, making the suit to just decay or open up, and for his his skin to open up, and the muscle fibers would show. Okay, blood would start to pour, but Midoriya would move out of the way before any more damage could be done. As he would turn around quickly, using Silver to slash at Shigaraki, actually cutting a finger, like the upper joint of the finger off, like of his pointer on his left hand. It would just cut off, just as Shigaraki would go back through the portal. Midori would be standing there, on the ground at this point, just holding his, screaming in agony. Okay, and then the Nomu would pick him up by the head and slam him into the ground. But then Midoriya would push off the ground with his feet, with Gale, to move out of the way, as the Nomu would be following him. He would say, he wouldn't say anything. Okay. Um, he would actually use gravity to push down onto the Nomu to slow him down, which it would, but not a lot. He would still be coming at Midoriya very quickly. Not as quickly as he was before, but it would give enough time for Midoriya to, do something. As he would hold out a hand to the sky, he would say, "Let the space be your judge," as a massive, just black orb would fall out of the sky, or come out of the sky, come through the dome of the USJ, through the actually no, scratch all of that. He would hold up his hand, and a small black orb would fire out of it, going towards the Nomu. It would hit the Nomu in the middle of the chest, and then it would expand, but then it would go straight through the Nomu's chest, leaving a gaping hole, and then the black orb would go away. The Nomu, it's still living. It's perfectly fine. It would just scream in agony, but this would give Midoriya enough time to, now recognize the pain on his back even more. It hurts a lot, but yet he'll fight through it as much as he can. Uh, Still having his sword, luckily not broken, uh, he will point it up to the sky as lightning would shoot down, crashing through the ceiling um, of the USJ. It would connect with his sword, as he would then throw his sword. As more lightning would shoot down, he would throw his sword at the Nomu in the throat. And then more lightning would shoot down onto the sword, shocking the Nomu even more, and more, and more, until the Nomu would just rip the sword out of its throat and throw it to the ground. It would scream. Midori would cover his ears. That was probably a mistake. As the Nomu would grab him, throw him over his head backwards, turn around, and then run at him again. The Nomu was gonna do whatever it wants now. I mean, Midori would shoot fire or lightning, ice, water, earth, anything he could to stop it. He just can't use the black orb again. The thing that could have probably took out the Nomu if he went for the head. But yet he didn't. Now he's getting thrown around like a rag doll by this monstrous thing. Over and over and over again. Nobody can do anything about it until All Might would appear, would arrive to the USJ. See all this carnage, see one of his students getting thrown around, but yet still not giving up. He could hear Midoriya yell out, plus ultra, as lightning would shoot down from earth, well, from the sky, onto him as he would punch this Nomu in the head, causing it to, like, just stop. But yet, Midoriya would then fall to the ground. Because he couldn't do anything else. At all. He's unconscious. So All Might would be given the chance to step in, protect his students. And he would. Defeating the Nomu, Shigaraki and Kirigiri would run away. The rest of the teachers would arrive, helping out the other students. And taking out the rest of the villains. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode of What If Deku Had an Elemental Quirk? Now, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you have any what if ideas, put them down below. Rate my video 1 through 10, or however you want to do it. Okay. And yeah, check out my other series. And I hope to see you all next time. Hope you enjoyed. Roll the dice, and I'll see you all next time.